up reading how the Patriot Act works. The name's Carlo, and it's by Ed Grape. I can't pronounce that name. And yeah, harder than Galifianakis. Apparently, the Patriot Act is a law passed in the wake of September 11th, 2011, which is 9/11. If you didn't know that, kinda everyone knows that. If you don't know that, you live in a cave. Anyways, you're a troll. Its goals are to strengthen domestic security and broaden the powers of law enforcement agencies with regards to identifying and stopping terrorists. The passing and renewal of the Patriot Act has been extremely controversial. So, okay, my mouse won't. Okay, now I shall highlight the passing and the renewal of the Patriot Act has been extremely controversial. I find that extremely interesting. If it's supposed to broaden the power of law enforcement agencies and supposedly protect us, why would it need be controversial? Now that's cray-cray. Anyways, that's an I. That's a O. That's an O again. Sorry. Okay, that's an M. Important stuff. Stuffles. Okay. Now we have begun. Supporters claim that it's been instrumental in a number of investigations and arrests of terrorists, while critics counter the act gives the government, too much power, threatens civil liberties, and undermines the very democracy it seeks to protect. So, yeah. Critics are saying that, I guess they're scared of monarchy, thinking that the government might have too much power and have too much power over citizens and threaten our liberties, in which this act is supposed to protect us against terrorist attacks, saying that, yeah, pretty much, they're just, I understand the critics' side, but the supporters claim that, like, background checks and investigations and arrests will just greatly help us upon the situation of terrorists. Actually, I'm going to highlight that. That's pretty important, I would say. That's pretty important. Supporters claim. Look at that. That's a lot of highlighting. Okay, let's take a look at what the Patriot Act is. Support and criticism behind it, and if the Patriot Act is really working. Title 2 is just one section of the bill. This section broadens the ability of law enforcement agencies to conduct surveillance. It allows the interception of communications if they're related to terrorist activities, and allow law enforcement agencies to share information related to terrorist activities with federal authorities. So pretty much, like, literally, the government can track our phone. Like, all of our phones are tracked by the government. I mean, which is an invasion of privacy, which gives us up one of our amendments. I mean, our Fourth Amendment, to be exact, where no one can invade our privacy, but I can understand where they're coming from, that to prevent a terrorist attack, because, you don't want Obama dead, because he's a pretty good president. Anyways, it allows the government to order files from the providers of communication services with details about specific use of the service. For example, an internet service provider can be ordered to provide information on IP addresses, login times, and site visited. Title 2 allows delayed notification of search warrants, meaning a suspect's house could be searched while the subject isn't present, and the subject would not be notified of the search until after it was carried out. Aha! So pretty much, if you don't understand, like, let's say you and your friends, I don't know, like Dick and Harry, are like planning a terrorist attack to, I don't know, like bomb the mayor, Rambo style, and then, like, let's say you're using like iChat, and then you're just chatting about, oh yeah, we're gonna kill the mayor, yeah, we're gonna kill the mayor, very good, yeah, and then yeah, like the website or whatever program you're using, I suppose, can give an IP address or your login. I'm assuming your login information in the sites you visited at the time, track you down and get a search warrant while you're not present. Which I think is vice versa. If you're present, you can still check the house, whether or not But the fact that you're not present and without your consent is kind of weird. I don't know. It's like someone searching a room without your permission, like your parents searching a room without your permission. So that's pretty important. Um, the Patriot Act has come under fire for a number of reasons. It was passed very quickly, just over a month after the September 11th, 2001 terrorist attack, and Congress spent very little time reading and debating it. By some accounts, less than 48 hours passed between the presentation of the bill's final wording and the law passing in both houses of Congress, leading to some doubt whether many members of Congress actually read the lengthy and complex bill. Wow. That's crazy. So, so Congress did not read, didn't thoroughly read. You would think the Senate reads, since, you have a 6-year term, they're wiser, they just take longer to pass bills or amendments or to present them, and it was passed just over a month, and wow, that's insane. Like a lot of media controversy stating whether the both houses of Congress read the bill thoroughly. I mean, I would. If it's a new law or a bill or amendment, I would love to go over it, make sure it. I mean, we do have the Ninth Amendment. Well, actually, all the amendments to outline what it is for Congress can or cannot pass, and what we can or cannot do. I mean, it's pretty self-evident within itself, I would think. But anyways, yeah, that's just really crazy. It's just like a teacher just giving you an A and then you deserve a C plus because you did good, but you didn't do that good, and yeah. So it turns out you're dumb, but anyways, yeah, your parents got happy for no reason. And then the teacher takes a grade back after the principal sees it, and yeah, it's kind of that kind of mixed match situation. So there are fears that the Patriot Act reduces or removes many of the civil liberties enjoyed in the United States and guaranteed by the Constitution. Like I just said, yeah. The right to privacy, not specifically mentioned in the Constitution but supported by numerous Supreme Court decisions, and a freedom from unreasonable searches and seizures are the most notable infringements due to the expansion of the government's ability to conduct wiretaps and to perform searches without notification. Like I just said, it takes away a Fourth Amendment, I believe, if I'm correct, that they cannot conduct unreasonable searches or seizures without the consent or without official evidence. Well, technically in this case, they do have official evidence, because if you're like Google documenting someone and you're just sending Google documents with, Dick and Harry, and then, yeah. I mean, that would be enough sufficient evidence. Or if you're a suspect, at least go through a questioning or some sort of investigation without conducting a search before conducting the search. It would make more sense. But that's just me, though. So the Patriot Act, pretty much allows the government to be a little bit more loose on your privacy, to be a little bit more personal. Like, I've seen a lot of businesses have a lot more cameras, especially like outside of the business, so it's like watching the streets, or like the business, like let's say if they have like a business telephone, they would use that telephone, it would be tracked by the government, and the government would be sent straight back to the government, pretty much. Kind of like how the internet works, I would say. Like, make a phone call, the phone call goes straight back to the government, so the government can review whether it's stating it's dangerous or not. So, yeah, that's pretty much what the Patriot Act is. A little bit of an invasion of our Fourth Amendment to, to expand the safety of us, but to dissolve our privacy in some sort of way. And I guess it's a good bad law, and what I mean by that, it's a good law like for what it stands for, but it's a bad law stating of like all the controversial effects and how both houses of Congress, especially the Senate, kind of disappointed that the Senate didn't take its time reading the Patriot Act. You would think the Senate would. I mean, you just think the Senate would just like read it carefully and say, oh yeah, yeah, interesting, because the House of Representatives is like the teacher, like the scholar, and the Senate is like the teacher doing the revisions and whatnot. But yeah, Patriot Act, by Ed, great, yeah, that guy. So anyway, in the meantime, name's Carlo, and yeah, the Patriot Act, yeah.